Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. So I have a new kind of video series that I want to start, and today is going to be the first episode, I guess. I don't really know what to call it. Today will be the first video in a series. I've seen this kind of floating around a little bit. So it's like the 1 week, 1 palette. So essentially what you do is for an entire week you only use one eyeshadow palette to create your looks for that week. Just use the one palette. So I've kind of done this a little bit off camera and I don't know why I haven't been recording it. So I want to start like a little series. So it kind of pushes me out of my comfort zone. I've set myself a goal to try and use every single colour in the eyeshadow palette, and it's a good way for me to step outside my comfort zone from doing like neutral everyday looks every single day. So yeah, essentially that is the challenge. Use one palette for a week. How I want to kind of do it is after the week, depending on my thoughts of the palette, some I might really love, some I might not. If I don't like it and I don't see myself reaching for it again, I'm just going to declutter it. It's kind of like decluttering, and you know, I kind of fall into the pattern of using the same eyeshadow palettes over and over again and never reaching for certain ones. So it's a good way to use products that you don't normally use, and yeah, like I said, if I don't like it at the end of the week, then I'm just going to declutter it because there's no point having it in my collection. So the first palette I did is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I've had this for like a month or two and I haven't used it yet. I was going to do like a first impression review on it, and then I kind of decided that it'd been out for a while and I still hadn't used it, so I thought this would be the perfect time to try this out. So this is the palette here. I'm sure everyone has seen it. That is the inside there. So as you can see, there's heaps of like warm tones, some duochrome shades in there. There's heaps of different colours in there. So you have 18 eyeshadows in there, 8 matte, 6 pressed pearls, 3 duochrome toppers and 1 glitter. So I attempted to use all the shades in here. I think there's one that I didn't use, which is the loose, well, pressed glitter, which isn't really pressed, it's very like gritty, and I don't have a glitter glue at the moment, so I didn't use that one, but I used every other shade in here. And I'm going to tell you my overall thoughts on this palette. I'm actually wearing more of a neutral cool toned look today, which I was very surprised that I was able to get out of this palette considering there's heaps of warm tones in there. So for this particular eye look I have on today, I used Eden as like a transition shade, which I pretty much did for every single look that I created. I absolutely love this shade. It's like a gorgeous peachy colour and it just goes with everything. And then in my crease I used Musk, and I just built that up till it was as dark as I wanted it. Then I used Oud, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that one, this dark brown here. I used that in the outer corner, and that's pretty much it. Just those three. Oh no, what? I used one on my lid too, what am I saying? And then on my lid I used this shade here, Cashmere, which kind of looks like a champagne, like in the pan, but when you put it on your eye, it's like a really nice taupe kind of colour. So yeah, I really love this look, and I feel like it brings out my green eyes a little bit as well. And then on my inner corner I have this shade here, which is Nefertiti, I think. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but that's what it is. And then in my past videos, you would have seen before this one, I had the purple look, which was using this. I have photos of every single look, so I'll probably put them on the screen somewhere right now as I'm talking. As for the overall shadows, I found the mattes really pigmented and easy to blend. The shimmers I had a little bit of trouble with, not trouble, but it was more of like a learning curve figuring out how to use them the best. So I tried with a flat shader brush to put them on the lid, and most of them, nothing like came up at all. So I put Fix Plus on my brush, and even that didn't really do that much. So I found that these definitely work the best with a finger. That sounds weird. These definitely work best when applied to the lid using just your finger and tapping it on the eyelid. Otherwise I found it a bit hard to get pigmentation. I know the duochrome ones, it says they're toppers, so maybe that's why, but I really liked using them as like the centerpiece of my look because they are gorgeous colours. Here is a close-up look of the palette. It is absolutely gorgeous. This was a very expensive palette. I think it cost me like $80 off of, where was it? Selfridges. And overall, I really like it. Like I said, I was a bit surprised with the shimmers, but once I got them, like figured out how to use them, they worked completely fine. They worked completely fine. I wore these looks to work mainly, so that's like 10 hours wear, sometimes even more, and they held up really well. They didn't fade. I'll give you a couple swatches of these, and I think in future videos, like in this one I only took the photos on my phone. I'm not sure why I didn't think to use this camera, but in future videos I will be using this big camera to take photos of the eyeshadow looks, just so it's a bit more clear and you can see them a little bit better. So here's 3 mattes. There. That's kind of bad swatches, sorry. I will say the shimmers, like the actual shimmers, feel really buttery soft. The top coats feel a little bit gritty. They definitely need a bit more work to put on the eye as opposed to just the shimmers. So that's some shimmers there. Here. So that's those ones there. They're absolutely gorgeous colours. So yeah, this one here, Retrograde, is a bit grittier, and so is the Nefertiti shade and Celestial, I think. Oh no, Celestial's soft. It was mainly, Celestial is kind of soft but not as soft as the other ones. That's Celestial there. So yeah, overall the shimmers were really nice. This glitter I don't think needed to be there. It's not very wearable. Like I said, I didn't have a glitter glue, so I wasn't really able to use it at all. I've seen heaps of reviews saying that people's like cracked and fell out of their palettes, so yeah. But overall I really enjoyed using this palette for the past week, and it's definitely going to be a staple in my collection. I think the quality is great. The price is a bit up there, but for me personally I do think it is worth that price. Some amazing eyeshadows, some of the best I've used. I'm really happy with how all the looks came out, and definitely recommend this palette, and it's going to be staying in my collection. Let me know down below if there is a palette you would like to see me do this with next, because I haven't actually picked my next one, so we shall see. I have so many, like just here, I've probably got about 20 eyeshadow palettes at this point, which is why I'm doing this, because I need to get rid of some. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this from me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.